He was picking on Jess for Christmas. He looked too far.
Yeah.
And Larry was standing in the locker room. He says, "Beer,
Yeah,
why?"
tomorrow.
Why I got to the door. And all of a sudden he went up to the car.
Atlas.
Here.
Jaeger. Here. Ricardo.
Here.
Dees.
Here.
Nelson.
Here.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we did a little checking on the sidewalk, I think Beverly can fill you in more on that.
The rebuild money that came from COVID, the 99,000, talked with Chastain and Associates the other day, IDLT has given us permission to transfer that money out of motor fuel tax into general fund for engineering fees. And he said possibly, the sidewalk project should start this summer,
And we got a 1-year extension, correct?
till April 26, 26.
And that's the same passage.
No, not safe passage, it's, safe route,
Or safe route, yeah. That's what
yeah.
sorry.
So we're pretty good there.
Okay, discussing on the walk and the roads, what we decided to do, and I think we're gonna have enough funding to do it. We're gonna take care of everything out on the old Tovey Road out, McCarville Court and Sarah Lane, and all those, get all that done this year. Because it hasn't been done for quite a few years. Okay, lift station pump, what do you got on that, Tom? You know anything about that lift station pump?
They said the dumps came over Saturday. I guess it's probably got something plumbed in it. If they get around that full this week, they can pull it. If not, I'll pull when I get back.
Toby, this is what Jeff was talking about. Cleaning their lift stations.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, discussion about an ordinance, possibly on scooters and bikes. You got anything on
I didn't put that on there, but the only thing I put on Facebook like a week ago, the kids are coming down the streets and they're not stopping the stop signs, and I put that there to do that. But what scared me the most was one kid was in front of my house, he ran a stop sign, and a guy in a car ran a stop sign at the thing, and they both went this way, and the young kid went into the neighbor's, almost hit the fire hydrant. Well, and I started chasing the car, and I didn't catch him, I was going, I wanted his license plate.
Well, it had a big coming out here today, down there by,
And
down the stop sign.
And I noticed that sitting on my porch Saturday, Sunday, that more people than not, especially young kids, have been stopping at the stop signs. There's a few still run through them, but when I see them, I say, hey, thank you. And they're like, what? I said, you stopped at the stop sign. You're not getting run over, thank you. They look at me like I was a fool. But I mean, people are talking to their kids now, so it was nice to see.
Well, I don't know if an ordinance is really needed right now. I think if we put it out, get it on Facebook or wherever, and on our site, that, you know, it has to stop and we're gonna prosecute it.
There is a ordinance for it. It's not, doesn't say electrical and that, but it just says any toys, which I'm assuming little kids Tonka trucks that run on the 8 volts, 12 volts, and scooters are not allowed. But I was a young kid once. I know what stupid shit I did.
What you're saying.
And I don't want to see kids get stuff taken away over a few that's not paying attention. That's just me.
So if we get the word out, maybe they'll wise up a little bit.
And I think a police presence would help a little bit on that too.
We're working on that.
Like I said, after putting on Facebook, I did see an improvement, big time.
Good.
I didn't see the cars stopping yet. I put a kite, one of them pig sticks out there and I'll see how they do that. I mean, it's sad because Kayla Basil, I don't know if anybody knows, Kayla Basil is a young girl from Kincaid. She adopted 5 kids. She's a single parent with 5 kids that lives 2 doors down. And they go up and down they go up and down the sidewalks. And there's 3 other kids on the other side there. They play on the sidewalk, but if the ball goes out there, I've seen it, I've had to yell at cars. So, that's a busy street for young kids.
An accident wouldn't happen.
Oh, and I used to get DJ, I said, if you could sit in my driveway from 7 in the morning till 9 in the morning and 3 to 6 at night, and then when football players are over, but they're good now because I told Zach about it, I know the kids by heart, and they warn him. But I bet he could pay his salary in tickets.
Is there any way we could put speed bumps around the school?
Speed bumps?
They talked about putting speed bumps out there on Bunker Hill one time, and Eleanor Risk Management told us that it's a liability.
Really? Because I know.
That was
over-
several years ago, so I mean,
I know over in New Berlin, they got,
you could check it out again.
yeah, they could.
I'm thinking liability, so maybe, you know, there's an area in the school property that would be legal to do it, I would think.
Like I
If you're
said,
doing it
Maybe
in
we
New Berlin.
need to check, I mean, yeah, they do.
May not be the same, but may not be the same precedent, is what I'm saying.
True.
It might be
Look
something
into it,
we-
I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Another reason I'm so passionate about this, I got my license at 16 in 2 days, and I was at that stop sign in front of Jimmy Fitzgerald's. I didn't even make 10 miles an hour, and all the cars are there, and a kid actually ran and hit me in the passenger door, and he took out running. That should hell of me, I mean, so, the schools do a lot better when they go in the front, but they still have some that walk through cars that are waiting there. And these guys, there are people who go through there 35 miles an hour. The football team one time, I caught them, they were drag racing. And went up to the football field and they got taken care of.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we can just look into it.
Yeah, for real, that's a good idea, Jason, I like that. I support that.
I mean, if they don't want to stop or slow down, they can pay for a month or 2.
I'll tell you one of the biggest ones. Gold pickup truck that lives out in the country and he used to own a lot of buildings around here. And he never, that's one of your biggest offenders. And we'll say the name and I'll figure that one out.
We'll figure out how to slow down.
Okay, visitors, person shall be permitted an opportunity to address officials under the rules established by the village of Kincaid, 3 minutes per person. Anybody want to say something?
Just in what he was talking about, have we thought about maybe putting some cameras up, you know, they're pretty cheap these days, and,
I got cameras and honestly,
you know, I mean, official cameras where you can catch them, I don't know what the law is pertaining to that, but I know cameras and,
the school has cameras now, but I can tell you that the house next to Jimmy Facero, I was sitting at work one day and my alarm went off for a camera, and I got on Facebook and I'm like, is Jimmy Facero all right? Because there was cops all over the place. And somebody said, what do you mean? I said, there's cops, I could see them on my camera. Christian County got a hold of me, and that's when that supposedly robbery took place. They narrowed down and arrested the guy instantly. And then Jody, she come and got film off our camera for a guy that ran the speed line going 64 miles an hour.
well, I live the street over
Yeah.
on Richardson, and it's no better either. And both of them are on the sides of the school, maybe some cameras there, and maybe a sign under surveillance or something. People see sign, it kind of slows them down maybe, makes them think. And it's pretty cheap, cameras are these days.
That's good.
Just something to
Good
consider.
suggestion, no, great suggestion.
I do recall seeing once before that there was a grant being offered by the state for traffic cameras to small villages. So maybe check into that.
When I did my grant thing, I looked, I didn't see anything like that. Oh, I didn't actually look for
No.
cameras, but I was looking for road stuff to try, and I'll look that one up now.
Might wanna look into the surplus too.
Oh, yeah.
We can get stuff from them now.
Good
Well,
stuff.
but-
Surplus or less so, or both?
Both.
Okay.
Hey, Steve.
Anybody else got anything?
We showed up just because we saw the discussion of the ordinance on the motor scooter, so it's nice to see level heads, like kids be kids. Mine's one of them, that's on a scooter. Did he follow by all the rules? Probably not. And like I said, maybe we start enforcing, if they don't stop, come talk to us, they get a ticket. And when they gotta pay for their own ticket, they get some other PlayStation. Maybe they'll
Yeah, when parents get that ticket, they may not like that.
Like I said, I was a kid, I was dumb. I did some stupid shit. I made
Well,
the
and
neighborhood.
that's the
I
worst.
don't even wanna tell you.
There should be something, we should be discussing something at some point in time that, they have to be having, if they're gonna operate a motorized scooter, that they need to have a license. So if we're talking about children, they shouldn't be on the roadway. There should be something in that fashion.
Yesterday, there was 3 of them on one scooter, and it wasn't your son. It was 3 little ones, and they
He had
wiped
to pay
out.
for his, so he probably wouldn't do
And,
that.
and they wiped out. They wiped her out right in the middle, they had a chug hole and
Yeah.
road rashed him to heck of back.
They know if you had a.
Well, I know he can
4x4
go
too,
fast on
you
his
could like-
bicycle than he can the scooter.
if
So
you could
that's
like
not my
214
fear.
They do
Child.
look, they do look fast, though. When you're sitting on the board.
Me too.
I think it's something we need to talk about even more.
Yeah. Anybody else? Okay, make a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn. I second.
Ricardo,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Jaeger,
Yes.
Adamitis,
Yes.
Dees.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on into the special meeting agenda.
We need most of to go in the special meeting. Do we need to let them know what it's about, or is that only when we
Well, we're not
go?
going into closed session.
I need to do a roll call room for
Yeah.
that. Adamitis,
Yes.
Jaeger, yes. Ricardo,
Yes.
Dees,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
All right, we messed up last meeting. We didn't swear in Sue, and she's out of town this week. So we'll have to wait and do her at our regular meeting next time.
We need to-
She
We need
didn't
to
cancel.
table that to
I
the next
understand.
I make a motion, we table. Second. Sue.
Ricardo,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Jaeger, yes. Adamitis,
Yes.
Dees.
Yes.
Okay, police contract with county. We decided on what, 24 hours, wasn't it? 2 officers for 24 hours?
They can't work over 19 hours a week. Wait.
We were talking about 45, are they charging the $45 an hour?
$45 an hour, and then what?
We were talking, I thought we initiated 20 hours.
They can't work over 1,000 hours a year. If they do, then we have to put them on IMRF.
Even if they're under assignment?
Mhm.
I don't think so, but we could look into it.
Yeah.
Well, or what are you talking about time-wise anyway? If you did say, let's say for instance that we wanted 20 hours, 20 working hours, when are we talking about? Are we talking about Fridays, Saturdays, evenings? What are we?
He was supposed to be here, but he's not here, is he?
No, I don't think so. I don't know who he is.
Are we talking about one person, 2 persons?
For those who don't know, we're talking about the Christian
I
County
was gonna
Sheriff.
say 2.
Yep.
Okay.
Paying them $45 an hour to come and do 20 hours. What's nice is it saves us on our car wear and tear, their gas, and they're coming home patrolling for us.
The way he explained it to me, what they would do is probably do either 2 hours pre-shift for them or post-shift, after their shift. So it could be any time of the day or night, And I know he said he had officers who were interested in it and happy to do it. And I think the way he told me, Mount Auburn, is the way they have their police force. They don't have anything.
Right, and I'm not so sure that Raymond doesn't do the same thing.
What they'll do, whoever the officers are, every 2 weeks, their clerks, or whatever, will send over paperwork on such and such officer, how many hours he worked. and he'll be paid that rate at $45 an hour. At the end of the year, he gets $10.99. You know, so he's basically under contract with us.
I think the most important aspect about that was, I mean, right now, we're in a situation where I think we need to get to moving. We need to have that police presence, especially with the summer months coming. A lot more activity. What hours are we talking about though? It's more important.
It's gonna be, the hours will be broke up. There'll be no set hours.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
whenever.
Are they gonna clock in?
Then what they'll do is, I don't know what to call it.
You pretty much look at their IWIN and do their CAD.
They have to call into their dispatcher and
Correct.
get something on a Kincaid and get something on.
Yeah, they're using everything. We're just paying them, which in reality, now we're not paying benefits, we're not paying insurance, we're not paying anything. So we actually do well with that money.
But I mean, because right now we have no prospects for, police officers.
What exactly are we talking about as far as the contract? What are we gonna enter into besides knowing $45 an hour and then possibly 2 officers and a total of 20 a week is kind of what we're talking about. Are they talking about signing a contract and doing that over a period of time for 12 months, for 2 years?
Well, he was.
Can we break it once we hire someone?
He was supposed to be here tonight to explain all that to us. But they do it, you know, quite a bit, and I don't,
Do we
you
wanna,
know, I just think it's kind of like an open-ended contract. You know, it's no-
Okay.
And the nice thing about not knowing the schedule, you get used to them coming 3 to 5 and 9 and 10 o'clock at night.
That's what I mean.
That's
The
perfect.
schedule's got to change. or-
Yeah.
I'm smart enough not to do something that dumb.
And they're not gonna use our vehicles.
No.
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 And I would very highly doubt if they're clocking in, they're just dispatching like we talked
Right,
about,
right, yeah.
under ours. So, we need to do it. We need to do it.
Like I said, if you're worried about clocking in, they log into their iWins or computers, and it's called a CAD, and it lists everything they do. It's like a GPS. If they stop somebody, they got to code all that. I can read all that to make sure they're.
Yeah, she said,
It's not
he
big deal.
said that when they're given that, like Louis said, they'll have a paper with all the hours that they've worked, that they clocked in over here. It'll be sent over to Jamie, Jamie will take care of it from there.
Yes, what do we need to do to make it happen?
Make a motion.
I need a motion that we do the police contract, ASAP. That's my motion.
that's a,
Ricardo,
Yes.
Jaeger. Yes. Nelson,
Yes.
Alaminas,
yes.
Deeds.
Yes.
Okay, and we need approval of ordering a couple signs out of what you've seen about solicitors in town.
This was my idea, because I chased off the solar people. They're not solar people selling you now. They're a solar farm selling you to piggyback onto that. Talked to Taylor with a couple people. They signed up for it. Their electric bill doubled, tripled, and quadrupled because they're suckering into taking their money. You're paying their solar power. So my idea was to do these signs, one right out there by FS when they come into town, one by the water tower, and the small one right here on the window. So if they do say they come check in, they'll know that. But then there's no excuse, and if we catch them, I'll take pictures of their badges. It's $125 per person. Because one guy, he said, I caught him, and he says, oh, we're leaving now. He said, I gotta call my supervisor. I told the supervisor, I said, we have no order, you can't walk through there, there's nobody, not even CTI. He goes, okay, we'll take care of it. I came back at 5 o'clock, instead of 3, there was 5 walking around now.
Hey, can we get 6 of them and just hit every entrance in town?
There are 155 for 2, and we have the, like, old speed signs, put them on there. I mean, we probably do it wrong. I just
Did
figured.
you say 155
For these 3, for 2 18 by 24s, it'll go on an old 20-mile-an-hour speed limit.
Yeah.
And then one small one to go in the window of Jamie's window, so if they do say they check in, which we know they don't, we have
I
that
would
one.
say maybe you need to hit one on County 5, one out here.
I mean, I'm all for it. The more notice they get, the less they got to cry about.
You motion, I'll support it.
I motion.
Second.
I say we get 6 of them and one per, so 7.
Exactly what we said, yeah.
Now, which one are you going with?
Well, one's for the window.
One's for the window.
This is the window, and then this is the sign.
Yeah, the window's like 12 by 12 at that. It's just enough that doesn't block view, and you walk in, you'll see it. And these all fit on like a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. It's just instead of going this way, they go landscape-wise. And they're 18 by 24. You can see them, they're orange and black, they got the fancy glitter or whatever the hell you can
One
see.
over there by Gazelles, County 5,
I don't have a problem.
and then one on each end of the town.
Yeah, so be sick. All right, there's a motion and there's a second.
Right, Dees,
Yeah.
Adamitis,
Yes.
Ricardo,
Yes.
Jaeger,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yeah.
Okay, ordinance on the motorbike or scooters, we kind of already hashed that over, so. Moving on to the laptop, we're just gonna table that because we don't have enough information about it yet. Okay, we don't have anything to go into closed session about.
Need a motion to table the laptop.
I make a motion, we table the office laptop, please.
Second.
Adamitis,
Yes.
Jaeger,
Yes.
Ricardo,
Yes.
Dees,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes. No closed session, motion to adjourn?
No closed session.
I got one thing. Since Claire's got this on videotape and that, for everybody who watches these YouTubes, since being in, I've walked with CJ, Tommy, and Dallas. I've worked with Beverly. They don't get enough recognition. You get blasted on Facebook. These guys work their off. I mean, CJ, I was going to go walk with him. He says, well, I walk about 5 miles in 2 hours. I said, see ya. You know, I know what you do now. And there was some woods down at Claire's place that was dropped off for 4 years. She mentioned it to me. I had mentioned it to Tommy and Dallas when they were out. They got it done. CJ, somebody wanted to move the fire hydrant. He got me prices within 4 hours. We talked to the person that wanted to move the fire hydrant. It was out of range, but we can go work on that. CJ calls me back and says, hey, there's no cutoff nearby, so it's going to be 3 days of working, and there's going to be a lot of houses, like 6 streets without water. I'm like, okay, we're not doing that. So these guys work their butts off, and just be nice on Facebook to them.
They have, and they've been very helpful.
Like I said,
That's all I can do.
That's 41 years. And Jody, I'm trying to learn stuff with her. Jamie, I always say Jody. Because everybody tells me about Jody on the police. But no, they work. They work hard. Bobby knows it. He just didn't have nobody believes.
There's one name not wanted out there, that's. Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
I second.
Dees,
Yes.
Adamitis,
Yes.
Jaeger, Nelson,
Here. Thank you.
Ricardo.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.